What's up again? We're over on the CompuTrainer stage now. I'm just going to kind of give you guys a quick overview as best I can from that far away. I know it's not the best. I'll try to get some detail shots for you, really get you into the action. But for now, for our purpose here, I just kind of want to give you guys a quick overview of what you need to do when you get to class to get your bike into the trainer and get through the setup as efficiently as possible. Let's do this. Once you get to class, obviously pick what trainer you're going to go in. It really doesn't matter. Obviously most of you guys have been to class enough already, or even if you're new, you can pick whatever trainer you want. It's not specific to the rider or anything like that. So once you get to the trainer, there's a couple things that you want to do to make sure that your setup is going to go smoothly. A lot of this stuff should be done already by the person who was in class before you, but that doesn't always happen. So there's a few things that you can check to just make sure everything's ready to go, and then you'll be on your way. When you get to the trainer, make sure that these knobs are all the way out. The only reason why that's beneficial to you is that it makes this stance a lot wider, and allows you to get your bike into the trainer a little bit easier. You won't have to jockey your bike around and possibly scratch it and stuff like that. So make sure that everything's all the way out. Again, that should be done by the person before you, but we'll get to that later. We'll call those people out in a second. So also make sure that this assembly, which is the flywheel, make sure that that's backed off a little bit. When you guys all know, when you put your bike into a trainer and you push this into the tire, if you were to just take your bike out, it leaves it there, and it makes it hard for another bike to get put in. And surprisingly, it makes it hard for you to get your bike out. But like I said, we'll yell at those people in a second. So just give this knob a couple turns. That'll drop this assembly down and makes it a little bit easier for that next bike to get in. So take your bike, because you have a trainer skewer in there now, remember. Get your bike kind of in the trainer. It'll kind of hold itself. You don't want to lean your bike up like that just because you risk damaging parts and stuff like that. But get your bike, come to the back of the trainer, hold it by the rear wheel, and just turn these knobs in far enough. You'll see these long bolts. Just get those to connect onto the skewer. That's all you need to do first and foremost. You don't need to drive one side all the way in, anything like. You don't need to tighten anything down. You just want to make sure that you're just getting the bike stable in there so it can hold itself up. And then all you need to do, stand at the back of the trainer, and again I'll try to get some detail shots, but stand at the back of the trainer and make sure that the bike is centered on this back assembly. Make sure that the tire is centered on the flywheel. It makes your numbers a whole lot more accurate, and it makes the trainer run a little bit smoother too if you have that tire centered on the flywheel. Once it's centered, then you can just dial in these knobs and you're good to go. You don't need to crank things down. I see a lot of people, their veins are popping out of their head and muscles everywhere, just tightening down. You don't need to really crank it down, but you do want it nice and snug, because you guys are throwing down so much power that your bike is going to be moving, and the more your bike moves, these kind of tend to want to loosen up. So you want to make sure that it is nice and snug, and that you take these lock rings, which is the inside knob, you want to make sure that those get tightened down in, because that will lock these in place, and you'll be able to ride and feel confident that you won't fall out of the trainer and end up on a YouTube video with everybody laughing at you. Nobody likes that guy. So make sure that the lock rings are tightened down and that you're all good to go. Pretty simple, right? But it can be kind of difficult, especially if you're running late, stuff like that. So, practice makes perfect. So come to CompuTrainer class a lot and get really good at putting your bike in. When you're done with class, I know you're super tired. I know your legs hurt. I know you want to get out of there. but there are a few things that I, personally, this is a personal plea from Eric. To help the next athlete get into the trainer a little bit easier, again, everybody's going to have this flywheel pushed into their tire so that it's secure. That's how you're getting your information. That's how you're getting your numbers. But when you take the bike out, it's a lot easier on the trainer if you release all that tension. So dial that knob out a little bit so this assembly falls and your wheel spins freely, and then you can take these guys, loosen them up, and your bike will come out. Again, just like I had touched on earlier, try to dial these out all the way until they won't go anymore. The reason being, like I said, it makes it a lot easier for that next athlete to get into the CompuTrainer. It's a lot easier on the bike. It's a lot easier on the trainer too, because we use these so much. Want to make their lives really, really long. So if you have any questions about it, always feel free to ask. The coaches know what they're doing. Employees know what they're doing. So if you have issues, if you have questions, if you don't know what you're doing, don't be afraid to ask questions. We'll be more than happy to help you out. So, that's all that we have here. Let's call it a day. Have fun in CompuTrainer class. It's going to be an awesome season. Everybody's numbers are looking really, really good for this early in the season. It's actually kind of impressive, but it's going to be an awesome season. So have fun. If you have any questions, let us know. Any suggestions, let us know. But it's going to be good. So rock and roll. Stay cool. I'll see you guys when you need to buy trainer skewers.